Hey foodies, welcome back. Chef LoveChunks here. Happy New Year. It is January the 7th and today we are making some homemade little chicken pot pie egg roll bundles. Alright, so what I did was I purchased a pack of egg roll wrappers. Alright, they're right in the produce section, refrigerated. And I put one in each muffin pan. Just gently place it down in there. Be careful you don't pierce it with your fingernails. Do not spray the pan, alright? It will work out just fine. And those are set and ready to go. So I'm just going to cover them with a clean towel until ready to come back and fill them up, alright? So let's go to the heat and let's start our chicken pot pie filling. I have a couple tables of olive oil in my pan here. I'm on medium-high heat. I'm adding 1 cup of diced onion. A little hot, so stir it around. And 1 cup of diced fresh carrots. I'm going to cook these about 5 minutes. This is a real nice little recipe that I found. I've made just 1 or 2 little changes. I just used some fresh chopped parsley. I had some leftover boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now, if you had some breasts of a roasted chicken, that would be fine. You know, you could put some already cooked chicken in this. You would just add it the very last step. So we just want to tender up those carrots and onion. It is going to go into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes on 350 degrees, or if you have a convection oven like I do, that would be 325. Now if you don't want to make your own chicken gravy and sauce with this recipe, you could open a can of, say, cream of chicken soup, cream of celery. You could use cream of mushroom. You could do anything like that. You could use a jar of chicken gravy. That would be fine. But I had some cornstarch, I had a container of chicken broth, and it's just easy to do it this way too. Alright, I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit, and I'm going to start adding, this is about 1.5 pounds to 1.75 pounds of diced up chicken breast. I'm pretty much on high on the burner. Start moving it around, add a little bit at a time, then put a little more in. That way you can keep constant heat under the pan. If you add it all at once, it might cool your pan down a little bit too fast. You want to sear the chicken. Alright, time for the last little bit. Make a little space in the middle of the pan. And you can remember that, you know, if your kids don't like carrots, don't put them in there. But if they like green beans, put those in. Or if they like mushrooms, add those. If they like asparagus, cut it up and put it in here. Put in what your kids like, what your family likes. Okay, last few pieces of chicken going in. Now, let's add a little bit of salt, some pepper. Okay, here goes, this is 4 cloves of chopped mashed garlic. And I'm going to put in about 3 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. Now here, I have 2 boxes of frozen thawed Pompeii corn and a half of a small bag of petite peas. All I did was put them in the colander, and I ran them under a little bit of cold water, and I just let them thaw out and let them drain right in the colander in the sink. Smelling so delicious. Now I'm going to add, this is 1 quart of chicken stock. I've removed about 1 cup to dissolve my cornstarch in. So the rest is going in here. Now we're going to bring this up to heat. Alright, let's let that come up to temperature. In this bowl I have about half of a cup of cornstarch and the 1 cup of the broth from the quart of the chicken stock. Just dissolve your cornstarch in a liquid. It won't work unless you dissolve it. And your product that you're pouring it into has to be hot. It has to be bubbling. Once you pour this in and you whisk it in, bring your product back to heat. Bring it back up to a simmer. That way the cornstarch will have the full effect of what it needs to thicken. I do not like my sauce real thick when it's time to do a pot pie. If you like it thicker, you could add more cornstarch. But remember, it is going to thicken some as it bakes in the oven. Alright, so we are getting this up to temperature. Okay, in goes the cornstarch and broth slurry. Now let it come back up to a gentle boil. Alright, I'm going to reduce the heat. Okay, off with the heat. We're going to go back over here to the table. Alright, we're ready to fill our muffins. So you really only want to put about 1/4 of a cup inside and a little bit of sauce. And we're going to seal them up just with our fingers, with a little bit of water on our fingers. If you fill them too much, they will, overflow and break open the seams on the top. So we don't really want that. If you have kids at home and you have maybe one of those little chop-o-matics, you could have them chop up the onion, you could have them chop the carrot, get them involved, get them to help you. Or if you have a kid-safe knife, let them just chop up some things. Get them in the kitchen young and early. My daughter has been in there a long time. Alright, let's seal these up. I have just a little bowl of water right here. I'm going to dip my fingers in them. And just bring your corners up together. And pinch it closed. Okay, now in here I just have a little olive oil. Just going to dab the tops a little bit. That'll help to make them shine when they come out. Okay, here's our little chicken pot pie egg roll wrapper pockets. I think that's a name. And they were actually in there just about 16 minutes. And they will need to cool before you try lifting them out of the pan. But just use a knife, rim it around the edge, and pull it out and set it on a plate. I hope you enjoy them.